Bantam Doubleday Dell Audio Publishing presents Star Wars, Isard's Revenge, Book 8 of the X-Wing series by Michael A. Stackpole. Sith spawn. When his X-Wing reverted to real space before the countdown timer had reached 0, Corran Horn knew Thrawn had somehow managed to outguess the New Republic yet one more time. The New Republic's forces had been brought out of hyperspace by 2 interdicted cruisers, which even now started to fade back toward the Imperial lines. This left the New Republic ships well shy of the Bilbringi shipyards and facing an Imperial fleet arrayed for battle. Battle alert! Captain Tycho Selku's voice crackled over the comm unit. TIE interceptors coming in, bearing 293, Mark 20. Corran keyed his comm unit. 3 flight, on me. Hold it together and nail some squints. Corran nudged his stick right and dropped the crosshairs onto an interceptor making a run at Admiral Akbar's flagship. He hit the firing switch, sending 4 red laser bolts burning out at the target. The interceptor's bent hexagonal wings sheared off in a shower of sparks, while the rest of the craft started a long, lazy spiral toward the outer edges of the system. Whistler, the green and white R2 unit slotted in behind Corran, hooted, and data started pouring up over the fighter's main monitor. It told him in exact detail what he was seeing unfold in space around him. Thrawn had arrayed his forces in a bowl shape, with interdictor cruisers ringing the outer edge, preventing retreat and promoting containment. Corran shivered. And even if we were to punch through the Imp formation, we'd still have to deal with the Golan space defense stations protecting the Imperial shipyards. Before Corran could vector in on another interceptor, he heard Commander Wedge Antilles coming through on the squadron's tactical channel. All rogues, come about. That Golan Space Defense Station is designated Green 1. It's ours. Ours, Commander? The same surprise Corran felt in his chest came flooding through Gavin Darklighter's voice. That's a pretty tough target. We'll just have to be tougher than it is, won't we, Six? Wedge's reply came loaded with grim irony. Besides, we have friends coming out. 1 flight is on me. 5, you have 2 flight. 9, you have 3. As ordered, Lee. Throughout the bowl into which the New Republic's fleet moved, massive salvos of energy shot up and down and side to side, filling the area with a dazzling light show. The Golan Space Defense Station loomed larger. Over 2 kilometers long, about half as wide and tall, it bristled with turbo-laser batteries, proton torpedo launchers, and tractor beam stations. It could easily put down any of the New Republic ships that made it through the Imperial formation. Corran flicked his weapons control over to proton torpedoes and linked fire so 2 would go with a single pull of his trigger. 9 has a firing solution transmitting now. On my mark, 3 flight. 3, 2, 1, mark! All 4 of the X-Wings fired their linked proton torpedoes at one time. A battle station like the Golan sported very powerful shields, and individually fired proton torpedoes would have been unable to pierce it. 8 torpedoes coming in at the same time, aiming for the same point, would overstress the shields, draining them of energy. This would create a critical time window in which the shields would be weakened or would totally fail and have to be regenerated. The 8 missiles hit in a ragged sequence and exploded brilliantly along the station's middle. Flames vomited into space as a blast opened a hole 3 decks deep and vented atmosphere. Corran juked his fighter up and away from the station. For a half second, he thought the Golan's gunners were terribly shaken by the squadron's attack, hence their misses. Then he glanced at his rear sensor display. He smiled and keyed his comm unit. We softened them up for you. Appreciate it, rogues. Now, let us do our jobs. Two New Republic assault frigates, the Tyrant's Bane and Liberty's Star, poured terajoules of laser cannon fire into the Golan. The troops aboard the station fought back valiantly, but found themselves at a gross disadvantage. With each salvo, fewer and fewer of the Golan's weapons fired back. A brilliant flare flashed on the station's port side, and then it went black. Tycho's voice poured through the comm unit.
Lead, 2 here. I show the Imperial formation breaking up.
Disbelief threaded through Wedge's voice.
Be careful, rogues. Thrawn's got something up his sleeve.
Corrin studied his readout. The Imp pullback leaves the Bilbringi shipyards to us, which Thrawn never would have wanted. What happened here, Lead?
I don't know, Nine.
Wedge's voice came through, solemn and with a hint of hesitation.
Just got a recall order from Admiral Akbar. We're to rendezvous with Home 1.
Admiral Akbar waved a flipper-fingered hand at a chair before his desk.
I want to commend you and your people on the run at the Golan Station.
Wedge smiled. I'm just pleased you gave the rogues the opportunity. His brown eyes narrowed. I can't believe, though, that our assault was what frightened Thrawn off. The Mon Calamari sat back.
It wasn't. We've been decoding messages from Wayland.
Wayland?
Apparently, it is a world where the Emperor had hidden a cloning facility. Thrawn was using a clone of a Jedi Master to help coordinate his military efforts, and Luke and Leia were there to deal with him. Leia also has managed to establish a rapport with the Nogri. Thrawn had tricked the Nogri into working for him as agents and assassins, but when they discovered the Imperial deception, they used one of the Nogri close to Thrawn to kill him.
The Corellian pilot exhaled slowly as he sank back into the chair. Thrawn, dead? Well, that pretty much breaks the back of the Empire's remnants, doesn't it?
It certainly hurts them, yes. We will have to continue battling the warlords, and I have no doubt there are more Imperial weapons of mass destruction lurking out there to catch us like a riptide. But we have gotten past a stretch of rough water.
Akbar paused for a moment.
But there is another problem I need you to deal with.
Yes?
I want you to accept immediate promotion to the rank of General.
Wedge shook his head. Hey, I won that Wraith Squadron bet. Akbar pressed his hands together.
Commander, we have played this shell game, you and I, for years. You don't want the promotion because you don't want to move out of an X-Wing cockpit. I certainly can appreciate your desires, but I also know you are capable of handling greater responsibilities than you have been. And I value you enough to seriously consider letting you remain in command of a fighter unit.
The Corellian arched an eyebrow at his superior. If you're willing to leave me in charge of Rogue Squadron, I guess I don't need a promotion. Akbar sighed.
Commander, you need a promotion, and you need one very quickly. Because your people in the squadron are refusing their own promotions. They're following in your wake, which is a grand testament to your leadership and their feelings for you, but not really fair to them at all. Captain Selku should be at least a colonel. That was the job he was performing in leading the rogues while you were with the Wraiths. Hubby and Jansen should be majors. Horn should be a captain at the very least. Darklighter as well. And the rest of your rogues should be something other than flight officers.
Wedge sat there, his mouth open ever so slightly. How could I have been so blind? My people have all been great, and certainly more deserving of rank and honors than a lot of folks who've been promoted beyond them. I've been so worried about not letting the rebellion down that I've let them down. Fair enough. Wedge's eyes narrowed. Now that you've gotten me to agree to the promotion, it's time you let me in on what else is happening. Akbar hesitated for a moment, then bowed his head.
Very good, General Antilles. How did you know the tide was still rising?
I know you well enough, Admiral, to know you wouldn't have pushed me to accept a rank.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?